Hi, this is Debbie Donovan from Londonderry, New Hampshire, from Being Happy Stamping with Debbie. Today we're going to work on the Way to Goat stamp set, ending our Barnyard series. But there's a few things I wanted to tell you about first. Unfortunately, Celebration has stopped, but this catalog is still available until June 30th, the mini catalog. It's called the mini catalog, but it's a big one. It's not the little one you get a free gift from, but you can still order from this catalog. You can still order from our annual catalog until June 30th. And we also have a new product. Well, it's been out for a couple months, so you may already know about it, which is the basic white stamping paper and all the products, because our manufacturer that did the Whisper White went out to do COVID test products, COVID vaccine products. And my daughter and I have had our first COVID vaccine shot, and we're having our second one coming up the end of the month, so we're very excited about that. So let me put these back. Okay, so Way to Goat. When I first saw him, I fell in love with him right from the catalog. Let me pull it back a little bit. That's what it looks like. And this was the first time I got to use the stamp. I've been so busy with everything else. So I had a lot of fun this weekend playing with this stamp. And I want to show you one thing that a lot of us Stampin' Up! Demonstrators do is called casing. And it's where you go on Pinterest and you see other designers' designs, cards. And this is one from Stamper Showcase that I really liked how her layout was. But I changed it. I changed it up and made it my own using my own colors. You can see. And she didn't have her measurements or anything, so I might have changed how she made her own measurements. And so that's what we do, and people will case my cards. I've known a few people. I have a bride card that I made that a lot of people like. So I'm going to turn you down, and at the end, when I turn you back up, I will bring the cards closer to the camera so you can see them up close and personal. It's hard to do that when I'm working on the card, to know how far to bring it to the camera. So after, you'll get a good shot, and you'll also get, I'm making 3 cards, and then I have 3 sample cards that I'll show you and talk to you about them as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to turn you down. Sorry about the shaking. Haven't figured out how to do that without doing it, without turning it down. Okay, let's see. Yep, it looks like it's good. And as you know, I prep my products ahead of time. Bring in my glue. I have a hair. My hair tends to be falling out these days as I'm aging. So I'll need some little blue dots, dimensionals. And again, I told you I like to use the Tombow Mono multi liquid glue is one of my favorite products to use for gluing, or one of my favorite adhesives. And until I can learn to use a Stampin' Seal, because right now it's not liking me. I just am in awe as my daughter just whips through a cards after card using it. You know, I just wonder if she's Wyatt likes her and I just don't have the touch for it. I don't know if I'm pressing down too hard, but I just need to take some time to practice. Okay, this one I did not make an inside for, but it doesn't matter. I'll make that later when I give the card out. I hope you can see. Now I pulled it in. I should pull myself closer to the table. I actually forgot to get my silicone mat. But I have my protector down anyways. I always put one of the placemats down so I don't ruin anything. So you're going to take the goat, and I traced him all in the ivory, and I colored his little hair and his horns in the ivory blends. And then this one is Coastal Cabana, and I made him just 1/8 of an inch bigger all around. And as always, I will get the, I'll put one card. I usually put the, I'm trying to catch up, but I put one card on our website, and I'm trying to do it on our Facebook page, and both of which are B as in the insect, happy, Be Happy cardsandcrafts.com, and Facebook is just Be Happy Cards and Crafts. So the instead of trying to catch up, I'll just start where I am and put the goat on, and it'll probably be this card here with all the measurements. But if you like one of the other cards and want the measurements, all you have to do is just message me and I'll be able to do that for you. I'll give you the measurements, because I have a book that I put all my card measurements in, so that if I want to repeat the card, I have the measurements for myself. Because I make so many cards that I'll never remember the measurements. And if I've already given it away, there's no way that I can remember the sizes that I used, which is okay. You can just reproduce it by looking at it, and they don't have to be the perfect size. They just have to be a size that you like. And this is one of the techniques that I use in scrapbooking that I really like, is placing mats off center from each other. So that's why this card appealed to me. something I've been doing for 30 years. Well, not quite that long. I've been sewing that long, but scrapbooking I've been doing about 20 years. But all my cards are usually the same size. They are called an A2. That's what fits in the envelope size that I use. You get 2 cards. If you cut your paper, your 8.5 by 11 paper in half, you get it cuts two perfectly in half, whether you do it the long way or the short way. And most of my cards I do the short way. It's just habit. I do like a card that flips up, but I forget about doing that technique. So the saying is, I got you a cake, and I didn't do the inside on this one, but on here it says, but I ate it. Happy birthday. And I just think that's the funniest saying. This goat card, you can see how fast it went together, but of course it did do the coloring, which doesn't take too long because I just outlined it, and I used the Highland Heather to match the Highland Heather here. And then I used the Just Jade, which is one of our in colors, our new in colors. Well, it's not so new because it came out last June. But, so there's card number 1. Hopefully it's where you can see it. Like I said, I will be bringing it closer to the camera after. And this one, this card cracks me up. I did see this one on Pinterest as well. And it says, way to goat is the saying here. And I did the same thing. I used the Ivory blends, Stampin' Blends, which most of you are familiar with. And then I used the bronze for the bottom bottom goat, who doesn't look very happy to have a dancing goat on his head, but that dancing goat is, I think, my favorite. I don't know. It's a mixture between that and the one with the flower. And this is done in Bermuda Bay, using our free products that were from Celebration, some of the free paper, the Ombre series, which, sorry if you can't get it anymore, but you can use any kinds of paper you want. It's just mainly how you like to position the card. And I have so much 6x6 paper. I'm trying to use up a lot of my stock. So what I did here was this is half a sheet of the 8.5 by 11, and I just cut it in half and scored it in half again. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and then you score it at 4 1/4, and that will give you an A2 size card. And on the back they have the Rococo Rose on this particular color, which is the Bermuda Bay. It's going to be a short video because the cards are going to be together so quickly. I could have done some of the coloring. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do next week. At Revive, the store that we sell our cards at, we just brought a bunch of Easter cards, and I'm like, well, I could do an Easter card, but we've already brought all our cards there for Easter. Or I could start getting into graduation, because we also brought Mother's Day cards. We changed almost all the cards we did, so I want to work out of the annual catalog. So this is all the little circles, and now I'm going to use just the plain ombre. Ombre is when a color fades down or fades up to a deeper hue or a lighter hue. And put it opposite so that you can see it better. And I put it closer to the fold of the card, so because I have my little circle with the saying. And I'm going very lightly with the glue. It looks like I'm putting a lot, but I'm not squeezing it very much. And you just want to place it evenly. This one's opposite the other card, so that's nice. And again, 2 dimensionals on the back I like to use. It pops up the saying, gives dimension to it. And it will go through the mail without a problem. They're not very thick, they're just little foam pieces. And this says, "Way to Goat." And that's cute because they're goats. So it can be a congratulations, a birthday, a retirement, any type of thing you can imagine which you'd want to congratulate somebody for. So that's the second card. And I will turn the camera up and bring them closer. And this one is the famous saying, which we're not too happy with Tom Brady around here anymore, but saying, "You're the greatest." It says, "You're the GOAT, greatest of all times." which is what he was called when he was a patriot. But he's still a good guy. We don't want to be too mean on him. He's an excellent football player, so. And this one, I do have some stamping to do, which will be that saying in navy blue after. What I liked about this card was how it has the floral circle, and then you're going to use the layering circles to cut. They all go on top of each other, but I used the scallop one in between. And this goat here has, I colored him in, and I just picked the pink out of him, the Misty Magenta, I think it's called. It's not Misty, it's Magenta Madness. And the navy blue. And I like how it's off-centered. I like things when they're asymmetrical and off-centered. And this paper comes from the sunflower paper. I forgot what it was called. I should have written it down. That's also a 6x6 pack of paper. And from the annual catalog. And it has yellow roses on the back. Yellow roses are my favorite rose. I know most people's are red or pink, but I'm a yellow rose girl. I'm from New Hampshire, so it's not like I'm from Texas, where I know they say the yellow rose of Texas. And you just place that circle here. And I think this goat almost has a air about him that he's a little bit snobby. And I just find that funny. You know, like, I did it, and what you're going to do about it. When I used it for I ate the cake. The I ate the cake card. And so I'm using it for greatest of all times because he just looks to me like he thinks he's the greatest of all times. If a goat can look that way. I know my cousin used to own some goats. I never seen her goats, but we used to take my grandchildren to Parley Farms in Massachusetts to do apple picking in the fall, and they had some animals there, and they had the goats, and the girls got a kick out of feeding them. And let's see if I can get this straight. It's hard when I can't do it, when I have to do it at a distance. Oh, it's pretty good. And that is done in Night of Navy to match the Night of Navy scallop circle that I did. You're going to hear a little squeak. I have a little rag that I clean my stamps off on. And then that card can be used as well for anything. I mean, I think it could make a funny retirement or graduation, birthday, Father's Day. I used all the sayings. One of the sayings is on one of the other cards that I'm going to turn you up and show you now. So let me turn you up. If I can get it going here. Oh, hi, Ashley. Hi, Denise. I don't know why it's all red. Okay. Love that saying, yeah. Okay. So, now I'll bring the cards to the camera so that you can see them. So here's the last one that I did is You're the Greatest of All Times. And I really like how it looks like he's walking, you know, through a door of flowers. And he's also eating a flower. And Way to Goat, which I think is really funny because he's standing on the other goat's head and that goat is not very happy at all. So if you can see that card. And then this was the first one I made. It says, I got you a cake, but I ate it. Happy birthday. And then I made 3 other cards. Here's another Way to Go, Greatest of All Times, goat. And again, I just traced him. And then the next 2 cards, I wanted to show you another way of doing the backgrounds. I did just using, there's a little can stamp that comes in with it. And I just turned it a quarter turn each time and just stamped it all over the card. And he stamped in the ivory, colored in ivory blends, and I put Way to Goat on him. And then this card is also done making a background using the goats, and then it has the angry looking goat, and the saying here is happy birthday old, is it? Happy birthday, you old goat, which I think is funny. And I just did a little bit of gray on his hair, for his hair and his eyelids. I think I colored his eyelids in a little bit, just to give him a little difference from the background. And I used one of the punches, the, I'll tell you in a minute. Now that I can't find which punch it was. Stamped in navy. I wrote it down, but I'm not finding it. But if you want to know which punch, I can tell you the punch. It's Everyday Something. I'm sorry. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I'm a little bit out of I had to rush home and get prepared for the video, so. But this would be a good card to give your dad or your grandpa. So those are the cards. And that ends the Barnyard series. We did the, what did we start with? We've done the goats. I have so many barnyard animals. We did the chickens, the goats, and trying to think, last week's cards were, I know I have pigs and cows and we didn't do those, but I'm drawing a blank about what last week's cards were because I know chickens were the week before. And I have over 1,000 stamp sets, so it's kind of hard to remember every card that I did. Donkeys! Thank you, Denise. The darling donkeys. So next week I will probably do, I have a choice of 2 stamps that I'm going to do. And I'm really leaning towards a graduation card, but I have one that is using all triangle dies. So this is the front of it. The front isn't as impressive as what you can do with the dies. Or I'll be doing graduation cards, masculine ones, using the world stamps. So I'll probably put out a poll, or I'll just pull out my paper, and I'm pretty much leaning towards, I have one card that I will probably make, and it'll take a long time to make that card because I've already made it once, and it's a fancy fold card, and it's easy but complicated because there's a lot of cuts on it. But like I say, to me, everything is easy, I find. It's just confusing because you have to follow a pattern to get the cuts right to do it, but it flips open and opens different ways. So, and I did that using the world, and so that's what I'm leaning towards. So that's the one I'll probably do, but I did print out a picture using the triangles that I really liked as well. So I'll do one or the other. So that's it for today. So I'm glad that you joined me, and I forgot to print a code for March. So if you wanted to make an order, it is March. If you wanted to make an order, you can just message me, and I'll give you the host code for that. If it's a $50 order or less, I will send you some embellishments. And then, so celebration never ends with me. I always send my customers that place an order of $50 or more, some little trinkets or something. And then, if you have any questions, if there's more on one of the cards you'd like to know, just message me and I'll give you the measurements for the card. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.